What's up, guys? Welcome to Awesome Comics, your one-stop shop for everything comic book entertainment. I'm your host, Walter Bernasiak, and today we are talking about a great animated movie, in my opinion. It's Green Lantern First Flight, the 2009 DC animated movie, and we've got some great people to talk about it today. Hey, Heather, you had a really cool Facebook video this past week about comics in the classroom. What's going on?
Yeah. You know, if you haven't checked it out, it's on our Facebook page, facebook.com/awesomecomics.
Show.
Is there an underscore?
Awesome
No.
Comic Show.
Show.
Oh,
sorry, gosh. I'm sorry.
It's getting a lot of good reception.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. You know, it's an interesting topic.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about that more in the future, for sure.
I'm a little biased, though.
Just a touch.
Just a touch.
You, Mr. Brian Porter, how's it going, man?
Good.
Oh, really clutching those Twizzlers, huh?
Oh, sorry.
He's got the orange ring on. You guys get it.
I'm a Blue Lantern.
I'm everything.
Green for life!
Green for life, on away. What's
That's
up?
me. What's up? Hey,
You ready to talk about Green Lantern?
the show.
Okay. Well,
I'm green with excitement?
No.
well, it doesn't exactly work, but let's jump into it.
Doesn't
Sure.
work.
Okay, so Green Lantern First Flight, like I said, 2009 DC animated movie. One of the first ones, because the first one in the line of the DC animated original movies was Superman Doomsday, which we talked about in 2007. So this is one of the earlier ones. Let's go into positive first. What do we like about Green Lantern First Flight? Heather.
Well, I think overall it's just a solid movie. Like the pacing, I think, is really good. You get a good mix of like the action, but the plot isn't hard to follow. So I think that the good pacing really helps keep you like engrossed the whole time. I also think some of the art is really good. I was saying before, I like some of the opening shots we get of some of the settings as we're introduced to them. Like the first time we're introduced to Oa, and we get that nice like view of the whole planet.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is cool. I can dig this. I can dig this. So, yeah,
Okay. Aiyanna, what did you like about this one?
I actually really like how much story we got out of this. It didn't seem too much. It didn't seem too little. I know there's a lot of people who went to go see this when it was premiered at Comic-Con that were upset a little bit with the origin story and a little bit upset that it was less Hal, but I liked how much Sinestro was in it. I thought it was a really good storyline. We got to see his like progress from a Green Lantern into being turned into Yellow Lantern. Like, I loved the story of it, actually, and I thought the plot was great.
Pretty solid?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty solid, pretty entertaining.
Okay, Porter.
I thought it was a good introduction to all of these characters. I mean, the Green Lantern universe is a shit ton of characters, and it's hard, even as a fan who's reading and been reading for years, hard to remember all these characters.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a good introduction. Most of them, like all the big ones, got screen time. You got a little bit of a feel for every single one of them. You know, the Guardians and Ganthet and how he's the only one who makes sense and not a dick. So it's just you got a good feel for everybody except for Carol Ferris. You didn't really see her.
Well, she's only in
really
it for a
any of her,
very short amount of time.
But other than that, you got a really good feel for everybody, and I think it was a solid introduction to all these characters. The fact that it didn't go anywhere after this movie kind of sucks, but we didn't have any follow-ups to this movie. But
Right, and this wasn't really based on anything specific. I mean, it's based on the in general of Sinestro turning to the Sinestro Corps or whatever.
Hal's,
Yeah,
origin
Hal's
with it.
origin a little bit. I mean, it shows their like a buddy cop film sort of at the beginning.
Yeah.
Space Cat.
Yeah, Space Cop, Red Letter Media, what's up? So, it doesn't, sort of build on anything that's big in the comics except for just real general storylines. But I still think it was a solid movie. Yeah, my in general thoughts about this, I am glad that we got to see a little bit of Adam Sura because he is a really good character, and we saw some stuff in comics that he is a really great Green Lantern, not Red Lantern. He's kind of red pinkish, but he's a Green Lantern.
Skin tone. Yeah,
skin tone
for sure,
wise.
for sure.
He's like me after a day at the beach.
Oh, zing! Yeah, I felt that one. So it was cool seeing that, and then we got the little flashback when Boudica touches rings with Hal, and we see like sort of what led to him giving up the lantern ring and dying and everything. So that was really cool. I love Michael Madsen as Kilowog. I don't care what anybody says. I think it's
Kilowog
perfect.
in this movie.
I think it's perfect.
There's so many people who don't like it.
I don't.
Why?
All I want,
here.
like, I hear him, and it's just I expect Kilowog to cut off someone's ear and be like, "Can you hear me?" Like that's all I'm thinking.
He's got
like,
the perfect voice for it.
no.
I love
Michael
it.
Clark
enjoyed
Duncan was the perfect Kilowog in Green Lantern.
Yeah, that worked
He was
out well.
perfect. Regardless, he was perfect. Kilowog with Michael Clark Duncan is fantastic.
Right.
Michael
I mean,
Madsen, it's just
Well,
Michael
I like the
Madsen
voice
is
actors
so
in this
Michael
in
Madsen.
general, actually.
I do
think they
too.
were really good.
Christopher Maloney
I
was
was gonna
Hal
say,
Jordan, pretty decent.
See, it was just decent
Yeah,
for
I
me,
didn't think
though.
he was great.
Maybe
He
it's
was
because,
decent.
like, in the later movies,
Nathan
when Nathan Fillion
Right.
is Hal Jordan,
Yeah, he's
He's
better.
so
Yeah,
Nathan
definitely.
Fillion
perfect.
is my
Definitely
Hal
better.
Jordan, let's
Yes.
be real. But
So, like, going back and hearing Christopher Maloney again was a little bit like,
Not
Yeah.
bad,
not
the
bad.
best.
He's not
but-
bad.
He's okay.
Yeah.
He's okay.
But he's no Nathan Fillion.
well, no.
Yeah.
I will concede that point.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I did like the guy who voiced Sinestro. I didn't write
Victor
that down.
Garber.
Victor
Victor Garber. Okay. there you go.
Doctor
Yeah.
from Legends.
Yeah, he was. I thought he was pretty solid.
Yeah, he was
and
impressive.
Aliens.
There you go.
And
I thought he was
lot of
pretty
things.
solid as Sinestro.
Yeah, I
gave,
think he
gave off
sounded-
that little bit of a menace,
Yeah.
but still was very kind of upright, righteous.
Smart.
Yeah.
You can tell he's smart.
Yeah, I thought that, that voice casting was pretty good. The animation style, let's talk about that really quick. So I think it was pretty solid, but there was a few times where it kind of, everyone seems sort of off model. Like the heads got really small a couple times and the bodies sort of got really wide and didn't stay consistent throughout the entire thing. But in general, I did like the animation style, how everything moved, and the action scenes I thought were animated really well. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
The only thing that killed me was some of the CGI. Like when Sinestro's core, like the lantern
the-
core that he makes, that's
right, the battery.
CGI, the battery,
Yeah,
that he
weird.
makes,
A little weird.
was some
Yeah.
really awful
It was
low
kind of
budget
out of
CGI.
place. Yeah.
Exactly, it looked totally out of place
Yeah.
sometimes.
Right.
That's what killed me a couple
Okay.
times. The CGI batteries.
You
I was
didn't like it
do
going
we-
ding, 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 ding.
Do we
smash.
really need to make these CGI?
Yeah,
Did
I
that
did love when he
really
got
need
hit
to
with the
happen?
golf
two-
club.
Yeah,
though.
that was
yeah.
good.
That was
And it had
great.
the dent in it. That was great.
It was like
That
spinning
was great.
But it
I
did
thought
need
it
to be
was cool.
CGI.
I agree. There's a couple other CG moments in here at the beginning. I think when Hal's test flight simulator or whatever was.
Yeah.
I thought that blended in a little bit better than the,
Yeah.
the power battery. But
It was a
Batteries.
little just inconsistent overall. When it was good, and then there were other times that it was a little hokey
was
or
a
just
little
didn't
off.
fit the rest of it.
The only
Yeah.
thing I was like really kind of weird on was Evan Stewart. His
Yeah.
character model looked
With-
they
weird.
changed it. They
Weird.
gave him
The
like
shape
They
of
made
his
him look more
face.
alien.
Yeah.
And less like
I
Yeah.
thought it was
humanoid.
okay.
Yeah.
You
It was just weird looking, but it wasn't bad.
Right. Well, they
right.
also
It was just
shrunk
not what I
down.
expected.
They shrunk down Sinestro's head. I mean,
Yes.
like he usually has like that big forehead, and now
Yeah.
he's got like a
Five
more
head.
regular.
Five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got
Yeah.
a 6 head, I think. And they shrunk it down a little bit for this. I think he looks fine though. They changed up a couple character models. Kilowog for the most part looks the same.
Yeah.
Chip, I like Chip in this.
Chip's
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah, he's really funny.
He's a good character.
Tomar Ray, I'm gonna say Ray.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
looked
Tomar
about
Ray.
just about the same for what we've seen him in other things. So, I'd like the character models changed a little bit, but for the most part, I think they were on track with how they look in the comics and in other movies that we've seen, or the TV shows or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into negatives really quick. So, we've talked about what we liked about this one. So, I think we all agree this is not the best DC animated movie, or even like within the top 10. So, what did we not like about it?
I overall mostly liked this movie, but I can understand how. I mean, I know people had problems with Hal Jordan's like origin story only being
Yeah.
like the first like 3-4 minutes of the
It's
film.
really short.
It's really short. I'm fine with that though.
Me too.
Because it sort of just moves the story along. Like
Right.
there's only
We all
so
know.
many origin stories, and
all
even
know.
if you don't know though,
Right.
like you get it.
Right.
I think maybe the only problem I could have with how short it is that he sort of just accepts being a Green Lantern so fast.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, all right, we're in space now. That's
He's
cool,
all
guys.
of a sudden he's
He
like,
shits
I
on the
got a
alien.
handle on all this, and I'm doing shit. Like we don't see any of the like progress I get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's like all of a sudden he knows how to fly and he
Right.
brings the thing in and he comes in and he's got the Bluetooth.
the blue, right?
And I'm just like, how did he figure out
just
There
knows
was-
any
how.
of
There
this?
wasn't,
He's a
there wasn't
natural.
really any
Yeah.
sort of like lead up to that.
You're right,
So I
yeah.
think that would be my one problem. But other than that, I liked it being short and sweet because we can move on to the rest of the story.
Sure.
I also don't really see this much as a Hal Jordan story. Maybe because of that, it's more of a Sinestro movie,
Right.
rather than a First Flight movie.
It's
that makes sense.
it's more about like the split story between
Yeah.
Hal and Sinestro and their parallels and then separating everything.
But we get to, I mean, if we see a villain or an anti-hero at all, we usually don't get as much of their story if we're seeing the hero story. We got to see Sinestro's side of basically everything.
Right.
Right. That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
I was like, for being a Green Lantern movie, I'm much more intrigued by Sinestro
Yeah.
and his plot line than
Yeah.
Hal's.
Yeah, there wasn't, the thing that I think humanizes Hal is like his sort of connection to Earth and his connection to Carol and his nephews and his brothers and stuff.
Or his dad.
Yeah, but his dad's a big thing,
right.
and we don't get any of that in here. So I think that maybe that's why he connected more to Sinestro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Porter, anything that sort of stuck out to you as not the best?
Yeah, like I said, with his like all of a sudden being able to just do it, and he's totally cool with that.
Really
a bunch of aliens, sweet, what up? But one of my things that I kind of bugged me a little bit was when Sinestro killed Kanjar Rowe, voiced by Kurtwood Smith, which is awesome. When he just straight up right through him, and it's like Green Lanterns can't kill.
Well, in the comics they can't. Yeah. Well, I think they can.
Well, they can now, but like for a long time they couldn't. Was it Sinestro Corps War or Blackest Night when they took off the
Sinestro Corps War?
Yeah.
They took off the no killing.
And everybody's like, what the hell?
Now they're all authorized for lethal force. Or
yeah, and that was like a big deal. It was a big part of that comic.
Right.
And Sinestro just kills him, and everybody's like, meh.
Whatever.
Well, he's
dead.
Does
lead to that. I kind of like that scene. I kind of don't, where he just brings him back to life.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
That was
interesting.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, like that's
It's getting dark here. All right.
There's a few of those like dark moments with was her Bella Rose? What was her name?
La Bella.
La Bella.
La Bella.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah, that was a little. That was getting scary too.
I mean, there was some drug use there. He was like forcing her to take like heroin
Hits,
or something.
The mood ball or whatever.
Yeah, that was
the mood ball.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk really quick about the ending here. So Hal basically absorbs the green element in this, and he turns into like Super Saiyan Green Lantern, which is super cool. I mean, he's basically Aiyanna on this. So Aiyanna in the comics is the like the physical embodiment of the green element, basically, and he goes into different people at different points. And Kyle Rayner is Aiyanna for a long time in the comics. This was years ago, but. So it's basically that same concept where he absorbs all the power and he gets to fight Sinestro, and I love that action scene. Like I thought that fight was fantastic. So that was really fun.
I even like the far away when we see them like fireworks with the green
and
the
the
yellow
hitting
back and
those,
forth.
yeah, that was awesome.
Right. Well, I don't know. I thought it was really satisfying too when they even just stopped using the constructs and were like, all right,
and just really
straight up,
just going
like,
at each other,
throwing
fighting.
fists.
Right.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome.
Right. It's very like visceral. Like,
Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah, it played really well on screen, I think, just because the green versus the yellow looked really cool, and just the fight in general, like the big fists and everything that were coming, even the constructs, like we're talking about, it looks really good. So
one thing I really liked about towards the end was the like how all the rings came down and the Guardians
that
were
was
like, oh no,
they just dropped
that's very deep, and like you see that in the comics, like
Yeah.
you see like a shit ton of rings zoom by and people are like,
they were in space.
oh shit,
Right.
and it just has a lot of weight in this, but even more if you read the comics, because you'll see that in the comics.
Yeah, you don't have to see bodies, just seeing like
just
the
seeing
rings carries like that same amount of
and then
weight.
just how many of them just fell at one time was like, oh no, that's shit ton of Green Lanterns dead.
Yeah, Sinestro killed a lot of people. In this movie.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Oh, I wanted to mention really quick those aliens on Quard.
Oh, the weaponers.
Oh my gosh, I thought they were so
love
cool.
the weaponers.
Cool.
I love the
The way
weaponers.
they talk.
Like
They're
spider
creepy
things,
but cool.
Crabs.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like they're like.
They were
And
so
I love the
cool.
line is like the only flaw that
Oh,
every
yeah.
weapon has.
Every weapon has the same flaw.
Yeah.
The user.
I'm like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
The
great
weaponers,
line.
the weaponers are super cool.
Yeah, that was just a little tidbit I thought was really cool. In this. So where would this rank in terms of the landscape of DC animated movies? I mean, there's been I think 30 something at this point. Where would this rank for you guys? Is it in the middle? Is it towards the bottom? What do you think?
Probably towards the top of the middle, like near to the top 10.
Right.
But I'd have to put my list together, but like I think it's like near top 10, but not in the top 10.
Right.
I would put it near the middle as well because, like you said, it's one of the first ones, so you can still see some of the growing pains. I guess you could say with
I
like
can see what
even
you
little
mean.
details like the music and animation style, like
Little
that
things here and there.
that could take it up to the next level if it would have been made like in the more of the heyday of the DC
more
animated
recent.
universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, towards the middle. I
Okay,
wouldn't
same
put
for
middle
you.
top.
Yeah,
then.
same. I feel like there's been worse ones, but like there's been some really, really good ones we've gotten recently.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't really quite measure up to those.
I agree.
Maybe like years ago it would have, but
Right.
now we've got so much better ones out.
Right, I mean, because like I said, this wasn't really based on anything specific from the comics, where like a lot of the really good DC animated movies are based off of stuff from the comics, you know? Like, you know, Dark Knight Returns is incredible.
Right.
Batman Year One I really like. I thought that was a really good animated movie. Even Superman Doomsday, I thought, you know, while it didn't follow the story of the death and return of Superman, still had the feel of it and everything. So, yeah, with this, it was cool. I wanted to see more. We didn't get to see more, but
The only thing we got from that was, you know, Emerald Knights. and
Emerald
it's
Knights,
not
which I don't
really-
think is as good.
No.
I mean, it's okay, but I don't think it's as good as this. But yeah, I would love to see the Jeff Johns adapted stories.
God,
So we're talking like
yes.
Blackest Night, Sinestro Corps War,
Yeah.
Rebirth, even like Secret Origin would be great to see animated. And
Agent
those are
Orange.
tailor-made. Agent Orange, Agent Red Lantern,
Yeah.
Rage of the Red
whatever.
Lanterns would be
Like
awesome.
it would be amazing to see that stuff in animated form. And I know they did the animated series, which
Right.
only lasted one season and got kind of unceremoniously canceled. But I would love to see animated movies because I think they're built for movies.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
That's how Jeff Johns kind of writes.
Right.
It's sort of like this cinematic type style.
Yeah.
Something like a 2 or 3 part Blackest Night
it'd be
movie.
amazing.
I would watch.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I
watch
don't
the
know
hell
why.
out of
I don't know why
that.
they haven't done it.
They could
be
do a whole
awesome.
series with all that.
Yeah.
It would
Right.
make so much money.
Absolutely.
Right.
Just take it
Blackest
out of the
Night
continuity, the whole thing that they've got going now with
Yeah.
the shitty ass animation
with the
and
with
all
the
the new
52.
52 stuff.
Yeah.
Like, take it out of there, just be a separate entity, like just
Oh, it'd be so much fun.
huge series.
Yeah.
I would buy the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Blu-ray special editions, no problem. Let's do it.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
but it just seems because Blackest Night was so like basically mainstream popular with all the different colored lanterns.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like-
obviously, we have all of our
Yeah.
rings right here.
Yeah, they're all there. It sort of shocked me that they didn't adapt it.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of weird to me. And there's other great stories like I'm talking about with Jeff Johns that you could go back and tell. I mean, there's a ton of great stuff. So I don't know why they haven't done it.
Is it maybe because the live action
Maybe-
had such a
maybe-
poor response
maybe
that
that's
maybe
it.
that
Could be.
like
Yeah.
made them scared a little?
Or the
But
fact
it
that
was
they-
terrible,
animated
so
movie
that's-
though. That's
Right.
why I'm
Yeah,
not
right,
but
right,
also
right.
like, it
confused
seems
as
like
why.
they just want to stay with the top 3 as much as possible.
Batman,
Batman,
Superman,
Superman,
Wonder Woman.
but mainly Batman. I mean, most of the animated
Yeah.
They're all
That's
Batman
true.
movies.
This
I
is
mean, they're
Batman
great.
movies.
They're the best ones are the Batman
They're
ones.
good.
Batman,
There are some
Batman,
Batman
Superman,
movies.
but like Batman's usually in most of them. So I
Yeah.
think they know what sells and whatever. They don't really want to
Right.
deviate. And then with
You
the
could
GL,
sell it though, like with
Right.
all the merch.
Yeah, there is. There's a
saying.
ton.
and I know
that's
that
why
there
I'm
was a bunch of
confused.
merch when Blackest Night was out anyway.
I mean, all these
Right.
rings are all comic book stores everywhere and stuff,
Right.
and all the
Right.
different shirts that came out. Like
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
were eating those up. I don't
Yeah.
know why they didn't.
Make it happen.
Yeah, make it
Right.
happen. Jeff is in charge of DC Entertainment now.
Yeah.
So Jeff, man, let's see Green
We
Lantern
want,
brought back.
we want
Yes.
to see it. We want to buy it.
I want to buy it. Bring back. I don't know if he has any influence on the animated side of things, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, give him a little nudge, nudge. Be like, here's
Right.
a Black Knight copy. Why don't you read this? Bruce Tim again.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, because I know he was a big driving force behind the animated series, which did have the different colored lanterns. But like some cool animated movies could come out of this, and the different story arcs in live action I think would be really cool. I still don't know what's going to happen with live action Green Lantern. I don't know who's going to be the Green Lantern. If it's going to be Jon Stewart, if it's going to be Hal
I
Jordan.
don't think DC
Kyle
knows
Rayner.
yet.
Right.
Right.
Well, Jeff is the Green Lantern guy, and
Yeah.
he is.
Well,
in
see, that's
charge
the
now,
thing,
so-
though. Like, when he was executive producer on GL, and it was just like,
Yeah, but he didn't have.
why
I
did
don't
that
think
movie
he had.
suck so bad if Jeff Johns was attached to it?
I don't think he had as much influence over it, though. I think he just was sort of on there by name, and they kind of consulted him for a few things. Executive producer, I mean, that could mean a lot, and it could mean nothing.
Right.
It could be just a name on a movie, so
Right.
you don't know. But there's so much like history and great stories from his run of Green Lantern. Like you could tell 10 live action
Right.
movies. Like, just give us some more Green Lantern because we want to see it.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
make it good.
Right.
Like
Just make
I
it
would,
good.
I would kill to see Atrocitus and Saint Walker.
yes.
When that one scene
Obviously.
when Atrocitus is on his knees and he starts crying about his dead family.
Yeah.
Like that was
Yes.
such a powerful scene,
Right.
a part in the book, and to see that on even just animated.
Yeah.
Man.
I was telling you guys before we start recording about the Sodom Yacht fight with the Superboy Prime
Yes.
from Sinestro Corps War. That fight in the comics is unbelievable.
So
If you put that on animation, I think it would look great in live action, but I think that's built for an animated fight. Make it, come on. I want more Green Lantern stuff.
Right. I mean, let us know in the comments, guys. Like, what do you think would
Yeah.
make the best animated Green Lantern
Right.
movie?
Do you guys want to see us review or do a top 10 episodes of the Green Lantern animated series?
no.
I mean, though that's not
Well,
that wouldn't take too much.
yeah,
You know,
so-
it's only one
It's only one
it's
season.
One season.
Maybe
so
top 5.
Maybe top 5 episodes.
It'd be like half the.
Yeah, whatever.
Crossover.
But if you want to see us talk about that, because I do like that show. I haven't seen all the episodes, but from what I saw, I did like it. So it'd be cool to check that out. So let us know. Let's go on to the pick of the week here. So I did bring one of the Jeff Johns books. It is Secret Origin. So it's kind of, we get a little bit of that origin in here. But this is so much more fleshed out. This should have been the animated movie. It should have been Green Lantern Secret Origin, the animated movie, because there's so much great stuff in here with Hal, like we're talking about with his brothers and his father and his nephews, and him being tethered to Earth by Carol Ferris and all that stuff. All the background that makes him a great character is in this, and you get to see stuff with Jon Stewart, how he was in the military. They're both in the military at the same time in different. I think Hal was in the Air Force. I can't remember where.
Yeah, Jon Stewart was a Marine, and seeing them interact was really cool.
Yeah, their military backgrounds matched up pretty well. So yeah, go check out Green Lantern Secret Origin. It's a great book and a great introduction, I think, to the Jeff Johns run of Green Lantern and just Green Lantern in general. It's really fun. Okay, social media for everybody. Heather, what's going on, man?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Heather Roos or on Instagram at HRoos.
Yeah, tell us some more stories about your classroom.
Yeah, I tend to get more into that on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in that from the Facebook video, check those out.
Check them out. Aiyanna, where can we find you?
Facebook, Twitter, usual haunts.
Usual haunts.
And Snapchat.
And Snapchat, yeah. I have a
Nice.
Snapchat for the show Awesome Aiyanna on Snapchat. So I post pictures behind the scenes, videos from Six Flags that you didn't get to see in the video of us on rides and stuff. So all that sorts of stuff that doesn't always make it onto the episode will be on my Snapchat. So.
Check it out. Porter?
Check it out, huh?
Check it out, eh?
Hey.
I'll boot it.
Facebook.com/awesomeporter.
All right, Porter, Facebook, they go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Sure.
You can find me on Twitter at awesome_Walter, and talking about whatever, talking about, all these DC animated movies, any kind of superhero movie or whatever you want to talk to me about, go ahead and talk to me about it. Or the top 5 show I do. A lot of people ask me what actor I'm doing next. Just go ahead and talk to me, give me suggestions. I'm always open to that stuff. Okay, so next week, it's the return of our Versus series. Very excited about that. It's going to be Aiyanna versus me, and it's going to be fun. There are characters that we will reveal next week, a little surprise for you guys, but we're finally going to switch over to Marvel, I'll say that, because we've been doing DC for like 6 months.
Yeah.
So we're switching over to Marvel finally.
But
Yeah, so we're going to have fun with that. Okay, what's the Green Lantern note? Do you remember it?
Oh,
I do.
Lord.
Come on, guys.
I remember it.
Come on. Brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light.
See you on the next page.